Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm going to give it just a moment for people to pop in. And today is day 3 of basically my 30 days to go live on LinkedIn. So I am so excited about all the interaction that I've had so far this week. It's been tremendous. And actually, I love it too because I've had a lot of repeat guests. So, hello to all my new viewers. Hello if you are watching this on replay. So, go ahead in the comments and type in hashtag replay if that's what you're doing. Let me go ahead and check that we are in fact live. Let's see. Go on to LinkedIn here. This is always a test because remember, I'm brand new at this. So it says I'm live. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. We are in. I love it. So sorry for the delays there. Okay. I see it on there. Yay, Kathleen. Thank you. There's always that little bit of delay, so it throws me off, and I'm always a little bit worried, but I'm now just going to trust the process. It's worked for the last 3 days. So for those of you who are catching this on the replay or maybe are joining again a little bit late today, my name is Jen Ochnen. I am a certified integrative health practitioner. And that means I look at you as the whole person. When my clients come in, we talk about how they're feeling physically, what they're eating, what their habits are. I ask them about what's going on in their lives, what their stress levels are. Have there been any sort of traumatic events that they're dealing with lately? And really about mindset in terms of goals, ambitions, what they want to accomplish, what they've tried to accomplish in the past, right? And really, if you want to think about it, it's there's 2 approaches to health and wellness. There's a conventional medicine approach, which is your normal doctor, emergency room, prescription, etc. And then there is the functional health approach, or we might heard it called the naturopath approach, holistic medicine, right? That's where you're really looking at, again, somebody from a holistic standpoint, and you are trying to truly identify root cause imbalances in the body and try and help that person heal themselves by restoring nutritional deficiencies or reducing toxicities, and really helping them come back into balance. And that's what I do for my clients. That's what I try and do for you when I share content and I go live like this. And I truly love this approach to working with clients. It's going into my 10th year, working with clients to help them achieve their goals, whether it's around weight loss, whether it's around just feeling better, feeling more healthy. Almost every client comes to me with they're lacking in energy, right? Because we're all just so stressed now. And there's just so many more women that are having issues. They're coming with estrogen dominance, which we talked about that yesterday, PCOS, some sort of autoimmune disease, some sort of issue where it's really more of a chronic condition. So let's talk about that for a second. So chronic things versus, just kind of getting a cold, right? Something that you can quickly get over. Chronic conditions are really better helped when you look at things like nutrition, sleep, stress, air quality, body toxicity. Those are the things that are really going to help heal, because you can get a prescription, but what's that doing? In most cases, that's just relieving a symptom. It's not really getting to the root cause of why you are feeling that way. And that's what I help my clients do, especially when we look at weight gain. Because if you'd seen some of my posts around this topic, weight gain is a symptom, right? It's a symptom. So something's off, something's out of whack. You're too stressed. The environment is hostile. Something is going on that we need to work on together. So, in terms of today's topic for day 3, I think the title was, this is, let's see, a 2-part series. Today is part 1, and this is really around food planning versus meal planning. And today's topic is called Master 3. And what did I say? The easiest way to jumpstart weight loss. So, anybody on here, and again, you can put this in the comments still if you're watching this on the replay, but who at one time has wanted to lose some weight, right? Drop a fire sign in the banner if that's something that you've ever wanted to do, lose weight, right? Absolutely. Me too. Me too. So pretty common, right? Especially when you think about, hey, Emery, thanks for joining. Kathleen, perfect. I love it. Seeing the comments show up. So our bodies are changing over time, right? And most often when you think of the typical American and the typical American diet, or the standard American diet, some people call it the SAD diet, is that a lot of people, you're gaining weight steadily over the years. So by the time you reach age 40, 45, or 50, most people are at least 20 pounds heavier than they want to be. Sometimes more, especially for women. They could be carrying weight left over from their last pregnancy, or this could have happened because of hormonal changes, right? Or they've just gotten so wrapped up in caring for everybody but themselves that they've forgotten to take care of themselves. And that happened to me. That's exactly what happened to me. I was so busy running around in my 20s and 30s, being the company girl, just taking every new promotion, every new challenge, saying yes, 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 all the time. I was so focused on work that I stopped focusing on myself. I wasn't eating right. I was like the queen of Diet Coke, Dunkin' Donuts coffee, drive-throughs, and then loving it when the company would bring in pizza or sandwich platters or whatever it was for lunches, conferences, and happy hours, right? Back in the day when you worked a big IT project, and you were in there for hours every day, it was sandwich platters and pizza and things coming in. And you keep eating that over time, what's going to happen? You're going to gain weight, right? And for me, it was just bloating and blotchy and weight gain. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining. And just not feeling good, right? So when you stop focusing on yourself as a person, your health, your own mental well-being, and you keep focusing about everybody else around you, it's just so easy to lose track of yourself. So then when you have whatever moment it is, your aha moment, for me, it was standing in the dressing room of Banana Republic, trying to find clothes to wear for a first-time new manager orientation for my new team in Florence, Italy. And none of my clothes were fitting. That was a big aha moment for me. And when I got back from that trip, game on, I was trying to figure out how was I going to lose some weight. The problem was it just wasn't as easy as it used to be, right? So, my ideal client, and I have this in my LinkedIn headline, bio, whatever you want to call it, right, is I really focus on professional corporate women 40 plus who want to lose weight, balance hormones, manage the crazies, and feel healthy, strong, sexy, and fabulous. Sexy because we should always feel sexy. Sorry, anybody who has a problem with that. We need to own that, right? We don't just shrivel up and die at age 40 and 50, okay? We might sometimes feel like we want to, but we don't. And we deserve to feel good. We deserve to feel good every day when we wake up. We deserve to feel confident in our clothes, because when you get up and you have energy and you feel good and you look good in your clothes and you know it, there's that vibe that you bring out, right? That confidence that you don't have to worry about all the eyes on you. You're more worried about what you can bring to the world. It's fact, right? We all feel better. You can dispute it if you want, but we all feel better when we feel better personally, in our clothes, at our weight, having good sleep, everything, right? So important. What the problem is I'm going to set this up today talking about 2 clients. I had 2 client meetings yesterday. That's how I really decided on this topic. And they've both been working with me for a while. In fact, they both re-enrolled with me, not because they weren't doing well. They both lost over 20 pounds using my signature 90-day program, Fatigue to Fabulous, right? But they wanted to keep going on their journey. And one of the things that they really wanted to do is, hey girl, I still do love Spanx because sometimes some dresses just need that extra little bit. But yes, I don't want to wear Spanx all the time. So here's the deal. They both wanted to keep working for me because they really loved the healthy mindset changes that they had developed. They loved that they both lost over 20 pounds, and they really wanted to keep going. They wanted to make sure that they knew how to plan, how to shop, how to cook, how to eat better so that they could handle everything in life. And we started a lot of that stuff during the 90-day program. Like, how do you handle going out? How do you handle weekends away? How do you handle vacations? How do you handle work trips? I teach them how to do all of that. And that's why it's always a good time to start, right? Because there's never a perfect time. You're never going to have a perfect 90 uninterrupted days to work on your health, right? You have to learn as you're in it, as you're in the trenches, because that's what you're going to be doing. The goal isn't to lose the weight and then gain it back. Who's done that? Anybody? Can I get some fire signs on that one? Who has, gained and lost weight and gained it again? Anybody besides me? I'm the only one. If you're in the replay, I want to see those fire signs, or at least the 100% too. Okay. So what happens is that they really, really wanted to focus on feeling good. So as a graduate level program, I created a special course for graduates of my 90-day program to really dig into cooking. Hey, Beverly, nice to see you. And this is because a lot of women, we get so busy, right? And we're so tired and we're so stressed out. What do? We pick up something on the way home, we order something in, or we go out. And sometimes we're doing that 2, 3, 4 times a week. Now, that's okay. But if your goal is weight loss and your goal is healthy eating, you have to fundamentally understand that when you're doing that, you're effectively giving control over what you're eating, what you're putting in your mouth. You're giving that control away. You're giving it to somebody else. Because even though you're picking what's on the menu, you don't know where the ingredients came from. You don't know how they cooked it. You don't know who's touched it, right? Let's be honest. And the Uber driver, you don't know how it's been slamming around in the back of the car, right? Until it finally gets to you and you finally open it up and you're going to eat that, right? Not slamming Uber Eats. We just got Uber Eats this past weekend. But you give control away. So when I title something, the easiest way to jumpstart weight loss is number 1, just to decide that you are going to start being more accountable for what you're putting in your mouth. That's a decision. Because if you don't make that decision, then what happens? You're just constantly running around, picking out, ordering out, using the takeout menu, whatever. You have to make that decision. Okay. And then depending on where you are in your process, whether you do like to cook, whether you know how to cook, whether you don't even have a pot or pan in your kitchen, whatever, you have to choose a starting place that makes sense for you. You cannot compare yourself to anybody else. You have your own unique background, experiences, likes, dislikes. And that's what I really help clients do. Is I really understand where they're at. And then when I give them a plan, it's customized to them. But the first thing starts with a decision. And then you got to be coachable about it, right? If you're working with me. If you're not working with me, then you decide, okay, what can I do now? So let's think about this in terms of food prepping or meal prepping. Most women, when I say those 2 words, they're like, oh man, I just can't do it. I don't have time. I hate it. So who in the chat actually does some sort of food or meal prepping? And if so, I would love to know what you're doing. Please go ahead and put that in the chat so I keep going with this. So there's this concept I use, and I call it Master 3. Because a lot of times when people think about meal prepping, they think about, I have to create on a Sunday 3 perfect meals for 7 days and 2 perfect snacks for 7 days. So what is that? 3 times 7, 21 perfect meals, 2 times 7 plus 41 snacks. And I have to do all of that on a Sunday, and I have to give up my Sunday, and I'm going to be planning, looking at cookbooks. I'm going to be writing out lists. I'm going to be going to the grocery store. Then I got to get it home. Then I got to unpack it. Then I got to do all that stuff, right? Here's the thing. Unless you are doing stage prep for a bikini competition, I'm sorry, that is just not practical and it's not necessary. So what you have to do is you have to step back from that. Putting together a meal plan can be super simple, right? And so we're going to actually tomorrow when we come, I'm going to walk you guys through live. We're going to do a meal plan, right? And we're going to make it super simple. So just come back tomorrow. We're going to do that. But I like to use this concept called Master 3 because what it is just you're going to pick 3 things that you're going to work on this week. And that's it. And those 3 things are related to helping you take control about what you put in your mouth to eat. How are you fueling yourselves? We are what we eat, right? You cannot run away from it. You cannot out-exercise a bad diet. You cannot do it. No, people who exercise at the gym and exercise and exercise and exercise, and then they're so hungry, then they go home and they eat everything in sight and it's bad. And then they're like, what did you waste all that time for? Okay. So this is a concept I want you guys to start thinking about no matter where you're at. Okay, Kathleen, can't stand meal prepping, never works right. You got to do it right for you. And it's got to be progressive. And it's got to have some boundaries that make sense. Okay, so the Master 3 concept is you pick 3 things that you can start with. 1, 2, 3. So let's think about that. What if we're going to start at a baseline? You do no meal prepping whatsoever. You do not plan. You do not go to the grocery store with a list. Your grocery store experience is you're exhausted. You get in the car from work and you roll into the grocery store and you start looking around going, oh my gosh, I have no idea what to get. Can anybody relate with that? Is that anybody? It used to be me for sure. So what I want you to do is I want you to pick 3 things that you're going to focus on for the next week. That's it. Maybe it is 3 lunches. What I like to say is pick the meal that is most difficult for you, the one that gives you the most problems. So whose meal? Like Beverly, Karen, Kathleen, I don't know. Is that Lissa Sweet? I got a high LinkedIn user. Amory. What are your 3 most difficult meals to deal with during the week? Go ahead and drop them in the comments. I gotta get a drink. Lemon water with a little bit of ground up pink Himalayan sea salt in either filtered or spring water. Basically homemade Gatorade, folks. Fantastic. The lemon detoxes your liver and the minerals and the salt help you actually absorb the water. The best way to drink it. So, okay. I'm looking at the comments. Dinner. Okay, Beverly has dinner. Okay, so Beverly, you're going to focus on 3 dinners. And so what I want you to do right now, pen to paper, is I want you to write down 3 things that you like to eat that are reasonably healthy. 3 things. And then what you're going to do is you're going to write out a quick grocery list for them. And you're either going to go online and order your groceries and have them delivered, so you don't even have to go to the grocery store, or you're going to take that list and you go to the grocery store, and that's it. No. It can't be dinner, snacks, and lunch. Okay, Karen, I get it. You're saying all of those are difficult. Okay, but pick like 3 meals maybe, or pick like one person really was having difficulty with snacks. So they decided one of their things is they were going to perfectly hard-boiled eggs. They were going to learn how to do it. And for me, just saying hard-boiled eggs, I make them in my Instant Pot. They come out perfect every time. If y'all don't have an Instant Pot, it's one of my favorite kitchen appliances. Air fryer is the other one, okay? But they were going to do the perfect egg. Now, the thing with Master 3 is that until you can do those 3 things, you don't try and do anything else. That's it. But think about it. If you're mastering 3 meal-related things a week, what do you got? At the end of the month, you got 12 things that you have mastered. Theoretically, if it takes you a week to do it. Sometimes then your best laid plans go awry and you don't get to do it till the next week. That's fine, but we don't move on until you've got those. Does that make sense? Cool. So anybody who's on there, if you want to send me your 3 things for accountability, you can send them to me after this in a LinkedIn chat with any questions you have, and I will respond to them. Okay. So another thing could be is you could think about 3 breakfasts. I'm going to master 3 healthy breakfasts, and that's what I'm going to focus on. And I'm going to have those 3 breakfasts like every day until I get them right. And then I could put them into my, you want to think about, you got this mental Rolodex of recipes, right? And until you do it a few times, you're not going to remember it. Like, have you ever like tried this recipe and it was amazing and you loved it? And then like 3 months later, you're like, what was that chicken thing that I made? It was so good. I can't remember it. So when I give recipes to my clients, I always tell them, get enough to make this recipe at least twice in the same week, at least twice. And then you're eating it probably 4 times because you have leftovers too, right? Think about it. If you were going to master 3 dinners, then potentially you have enough leftovers for 3 lunches the next day. So that's 6 meals in the week that you've taken care of, that you are in control of. Because here's the thing. A lot of people don't meal prep because, number one, it makes them stressed out, right? Think it's going to take too much time. I don't have time for this. Okay. But think about what makes you successful at your job. There's so many principles between what makes you successful at your job and your career and your own business, if you're an entrepreneur, that are exactly the same principles that you need to apply with weight loss / eating healthier, being healthy for life. Planning. How can you be successful if you don't plan? And I know you're doing it for your job. Why aren't you doing it for yourself, right? Scheduling. If you don't put an appointment down put that baby in your phone, put it in your planner. I got 2 of them on my desk. You put it in your planner. If you don't write it down, it's not real. It's not going to make it happen, right? So what can you do? You need to schedule a half an hour at some point during the week to think about what the heck you're going to eat. If you schedule it, you're more likely to do it, okay? And you see, nowhere have I said that we're focusing on automatically sit down and going from 0 to 100 and prepping 7 meals in a row. And I'm going to tell you what, I've never prepped 7 meals in a row in my whole life, okay? You don't need to do that. But you need to start by acknowledging that, number one of the reasons, one of the benefits to doing this is when you take a few minutes to plan something out, you've had a moment, you've settled yourself, you planned it, you thought about what did you want to do. What does this do? This relieves stress on you. This relieves anxiety. And when you actually do it, it then saves time in the future, right? So, because how nice would it be if after a long day at work, think about it, close your eyes and think about it. After a long day of work, you can either shut your home office down, shut the door, just go into the kitchen, and you already have stuff ready, maybe partially prepped or whatever for your meal. Or you can go to the grocery store. You already know exactly what you're going to get and exactly what you're going to make. It's easier. It's better. You have control, right? A lot of women who talk to me, and for me, I'm kind of a control freak, right? But you want that control in your life. It's giving yourself accountability. I give accountability to my clients, but you can give it to yourself, right? So when you think about just getting started, the easiest way to jumpstart your weight loss is, number one, acknowledge that you are in control and this is your decision. Because until you do that, nothing's going to happen. Then just start about 3 things. That's it. Just 3 things. Start doing those. It's the simplest thing. You cannot go from 0 to 30. That's like if you were going to start a new gym routine, You hadn't worked out in months or years, and all of a sudden you decide you're going to go lift weights 4 days out of the week. What's going to happen after day 2? You're going to be so sore you can barely move, and you're not going to want to go to the gym for a week, and that'll be it. You're going to become a member donor to your gym. Anybody ever done that before? You join a gym, you pay the monthly dues, and you never go. You're a member donor, my friends. Don't be a member donor. Okay? Start small, make the habit, build on it from there. Okay? Does that sound good? Okay, Karen, lunch. What are 3 things you can do for lunch? Or you can decide you're gonna make one new. Some people, they do one new lunch recipe, and then they pick like one new skill. Some of them, it's really fun. Like they might dig out. Who has a George Foreman grill? Anybody have one of those? I have one. I love it. I really do. It makes the best grilled sandwiches ever. So I made my husband a grilled cheese last night when he got home. He was so excited. Not a norm, but a treat, right? See, I eat bread and cheese sometimes. They wanted to dig out the George Foreman and actually use it to grill some handy chicken. It's so hot. I don't know if where anybody else is in Atlanta, it's been so stinking hot. They didn't want to turn on the oven. So their thing is they were going to dig out that George Foreman and use it to grill their proteins. And then they were going to focus on that, making 3 lunches out of that. Great. That is awesome. That is a great step forward because there's a lot that goes into that, right? Cool. So everyone who's on here now, if you want to send me your 3, and if you have any questions with it, I will answer you back. Tomorrow, we're going to kind of go into part 2 of this, and we're going to talk about the difference between, say, food prepping and meal prepping, because I am a huge fan of food prep versus doing complete meal prep. It just makes so much more sense. Who's saying this? LinkedIn. Alyssa, is that you? I can't tell. It just says LinkedIn user. But this user is saying, I love making a huge dinner and having the leftovers for lunch. Exactly. So if you focus on 3 dinners, by default, you could also have 3 lunches. Smart, right? Depends on what you're ready for, though. Depends on which meal is the most difficult for you. So everybody, just focus on 3. Send your 3 to me if you want. I'll make comments. But tomorrow, we're really going to talk about food prep versus meal prep. And I'm going to teach you kind of how to think about that going forward. And all the stuff that we talk about today is stuff that I work on with my clients. And part of the reason I wanted to go live is, number one, so people could get to know me, because you have to like who your coach is. You have to know if you want to spend that amount of time with them, right? Be working with them and get to know kind of my philosophy, right? So I think you can tell I'm not an extremist when it comes to meal prep. I'm never going to make my clients or browbeat my clients into doing that type of things, right? It's a different approach. I think there's too many things in our world today, like politics is a great example, right? Hard right, hard left. Diets. Don't ever eat dairy. Don't ever have a carb again. If you want to lose weight, you can't ever drink any alcohol. That's clickbait BS. It is. There's a middle ground for everything. And not every plan works for every person, right? We're all different. We're all unique. And again, that's what I help my clients uncover. Fundamentals, there are fundamentals that are the same for everyone. Like almost every diet out there or food plan has a focus on protein. The type of protein might be different, but we all know protein is important for building lean, sexy muscle and helping improve your body composition, right? And as we age, we need to be eating more protein, right? So things sometimes aren't so different, but a lot of times that all that stress that is on us that we're hearing from social media, it's just clickbait BS. It's not reality. And so what I ground my clients in is fundamentals. Fundamentals for healthy eating, fundamentals for hormone health, fundamentals to help you balance your hormones, fundamentals to help you have more energy, fundamentals so that you sleep better, right? And that's kind of what we're talking about here today. There's some fundamentals and some philosophies you need to engage, but it all starts with you. The easiest way to jumpstart your weight loss is decide that you're going to take responsibility for what you're putting in your mouth, period. So I hope this was helpful. Did you guys like this today? Was this helpful for anyone? If so, please drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. I would love to hear it. Tomorrow, same time, same place. Again, we're going to be talking about food prep versus meal prep. And I can't wait to see you guys there. Thank you so much for everybody for joining. See you tomorrow.